Breathe in, and now breathe out. Settle into the quiet space you have made for yourself. Let the weight of the day begin to dissolve, like mist in a gentle morning sun. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to do, except to rest here, in this moment of perfect stillness. We are going on a journey tonight, not to a land of grand adventure or high drama, but to a place of profound peace, a sanctuary at the very edge of the world and at the cusp of sleep. This is the Somnus Library, and your story is about to begin. Imagine, for a moment, a world painted in the softest of tones, a world of gentle grays, of quiet, unassuming beiges, of tops and stones and dusty whites. It is a peaceful world, certainly, but it is a world without punctuation, without the vibrant exclamations of color that give life its depth and its texture. The sharp, joyful yellow of a lemon, the deep, contemplative indigo of a twilight sky, the blush of startled happiness on a cheek. These things have faded, not because they were destroyed, but because they were forgotten, unseen, unappreciated. And when a color is no longer held in the mind's eye, when its unique and specific beauty is no longer cherished, it loses its hold on the world. It retreats. It fades away, leaving behind a quiet echo, a space of soft gray where a jewel once shone. But these colors are not gone forever. They have simply gone to sleep. They have returned to their resting place, a sanctuary known as the Whispering Archive. And it is here, in this place of quiet potential, that our story unfolds. It is here that we find solace. Let your awareness drift now, away from the muted world outside and toward the entrance of this hallowed place. The archive has no grand doors of bronze or oak. Its entrance is a simple, unassuming archway in a cliff face of pale, smooth stone, a stone that seems to drink the faint light of the perpetual dusk that blankets this land. As you approach, the air grows cooler, stiller. It carries a unique scent, a scent that is difficult to name but deeply familiar to the soul. It is the smell of old stone, deep and grounding. It is the faint, clean smell of dust, not the dust of neglect, but the dust of ages, of sleeping potential. And beneath it all is something else, the abstract, electric scent of possibility, like the air just before a soft and gentle rain begins to fall. It is the scent of a world holding its breath, waiting. Pass through the archway now. Let the cool air wash over you. The world outside, with its muted tones and soft sounds, falls away completely. Here, there is a silence that is not empty, but full. It is a living silence, a humming, resonant quiet that seems to press gently on your eardrums, calming your thoughts, slowing your breath. You find yourself in a vast, circular chamber. The walls, the floor, the impossibly high ceiling, all seem to be carved from a single, seamless piece of pale, luminous moonstone. The stone gives off its own faint internal light, a soft silvery glow that keeps the chamber in a state of eternal twilight. It is cool to the touch, and the floor is so smooth beneath your feet that it feels like walking on frozen milk. Your eyes adjust to the soft light, and you begin to see the shelves, countless shelves, curving and sweeping upwards, following the grand, circular architecture of the chamber. They rise so high that they disappear into a soft, indistinct darkness, far, far above, like ancient trees in a petrified forest. And upon these shelves, nestled in perfect order, are the jars, thousands upon thousands of them, crystalline jars of every shape and size, each one catching the faint light in a different way, creating a subtle, shifting constellation of soft gleams and reflections. And inside each jar, you can see a small mound of fine, dormant powder. Each one is a different shade of gray, of beige, of dull, sleeping dust. These are the colors, waiting. And there he is, Silas. You see him not far from you, his back turned for a moment. He is the color archivist, the caretaker of this silent library of hues. He appears ancient, though his age is impossible to guess. He is less a man and more a gentle, enduring presence, as much a part of this place as the moonstone walls and the sleeping dust. He moves with a slowness that is not born of frailty, but of immense, deliberate care. Every gesture is graceful, economical, and profoundly peaceful. He wears simple robes of an undyed soft fabric, the color of oatmeal or pale sand, and his feet are clad in soft-soled slippers that make no sound as he glides across the polished stone floor. His presence is the anchor of this place, the source of its deep and abiding calm. He turns, slowly, and you see his face. It is a map of gentle kindness, lined with the soft creases of 1,000 quiet smiles. His eyes are the color of faded sea glass, and they hold a deep, patient wisdom. He does not seem surprised to sense your presence here. He simply offers a small, slow nod of welcome, a gesture that says, "You are welcome here. Be at peace." His voice, when he finally speaks, is not a sound that breaks the silence, but rather one that weaves itself into it. It is a soft, resonant whisper, so close and clear it feels as though he is speaking directly into your ear, a gentle vibration of sound. "Welcome," he whispers, the sound like the turning of a soft page. The world has grown quiet again, a little more faded, a little more weary. There is work to be done, gentle work, quiet work. Come, be a part of it. He turns and begins to walk along the sweeping curve of the nearest aisle of shelves. You follow, your own steps falling into his unhurried rhythm. The air stirs faintly as you move, carrying that scent of stone and potential. Silas glides along the towering shelves, his long, slender fingers tracing the cool air just inches from the rows of crystalline jars. He is not reading the small, elegant labels etched into the glass. He is feeling. He is sensing. He is listening with a sense that goes beyond hearing, searching for the color that is most needed, the one whose absence is leaving the most tender wound in the world. His hand slows as he passes a small, squat jar containing a dusty, unremarkable tan powder. The label, etched in fine, spidery script, reads, "The warmth of a sun-soaked sandstone ledge." He hovers for a moment, then moves on. A few feet further, he pauses by a tall, slender jar, the precise green of a fern's unfurling frond. He considers it, his head tilted, before continuing his slow, meditative search. The silver blue of a salmon leaping upstream, the deep, contented purple of a bruise well fought for, the shy pink of a wild rose at dawn, each one a poem, each one a universe of experience, now sleeping as a pinch of dull dust. His movements are so calming to watch. There is no urgency here, No pressure. This is not a race against time, but a dance with it. The slow, patient act of mending the world, one whispered memory at a time. Finally, his hand comes to a complete stop. It hovers over a modest, round jar, no larger than a summer apple. The dust inside is a particularly lifeless, grayish yellow, flat and without hope. But Silas feels something, a faint call, a tiny, residual echo of what it once was. He reaches out with both hands, his fingers wrapping around the cool, smooth glass with an infinite tenderness. The soft, glassy clink as he lifts it from its place on the shelf is the only sharp sound in the vast, humming silence. It is a sound of purpose, of a beginning. He turns to you, cradling the jar in his palms as if it were a fragile, sleeping creature. He brings it closer, so you can see the elegant script etched upon its surface. It reads, "The amber of a bee's leg laden with pollen." Silas nods, a soft smile touching his lips. "Ah, yes," he whispers, his voice a balm. "This one, a small, simple beauty, but the world is poorer for its absence. The small beauties are the stitches that hold the tapestry together." He gestures toward a quiet nook nestled between two colossal shelves, where a simple, low stone bench has been worn smooth by centuries of use. "Let us sit," he says. "This one needs to be reminded of the sun." He settles onto the bench, his back straight but relaxed, and he places the jar on his lap. He looks at you, his sea glass eyes full of gentle invitation. "Now," he whispers, "I need your help. This is not a task for one alone. It is an act of shared memory, of collective appreciation. I want you to imagine you are holding this jar right now. Feel its weight in your own hands." And so you do. In your mind, you reach out. Your hands close around the smooth, cool surface of the crystalline jar. Feel its perfect roundness, the way it fits so comfortably in the cup of your palms. It is cool to the touch, a deep, profound coolness that seems to draw the excess heat from your skin, grounding you. It is the coolness of deep earth, of a river stone, of a place untouched by the frantic energy of the day. It is a calming, steadying sensation. Hold it gently. In your mind's eye, you can see the dull, lifeless powder settled at the bottom, a sad, forgotten thing. But you can also feel the faintest, most subtle vibration in the glass, a tiny thrum of sleeping life, waiting. The warmth will come, but first, there must be the memory. Silas closes his own eyes, his hands still cradling the jar. He takes a long, slow breath, and when he speaks again, his whisper is even softer, more intimate, a secret shared between you, him, and the sleeping color. "Little one," he begins, his voice a soft hum against the glass. "Do you remember the sun? Let me help you. Let us remember together. Let us remember a field of white clover on a long, slow afternoon in late summer. The sun is not a harsh, burning thing. It is a great, warm blanket of gold, draped across the land. It warms the earth, the leaves, the very air you breathe. Feel that warmth now, on your own skin. A gentle, pleasant heat that soaks into your muscles, telling them to release, to soften, to let go." As he speaks, you focus on the jar in your imagined hands. The glass is still cool, but perhaps the very deepest part of it, The part resting most heavily in your palms is a fraction less so. A subtle shift, almost imperceptible. Silas continues his whispered invocation. Remember the feeling of that sun on the petals of the clover. Millions of tiny white blossoms, tipped with the faintest hint of pink, held up to the sky. The light filters through them, making them almost translucent. The whole field seems to hum with a soft, warm light. And now, listen. Can you hear it? It is not silence in this field. It is the sound of 1,000 tiny lives at work. It is the low, contented hum of the bees, a gentle, drowsy symphony. Buzzes, a sound that is both energy and peace, the sound of summer itself. Let that sound fill your mind, a soft, vibrating hum that resonates deep within your chest, a calming, steady drone. He pauses, letting the memory of the sound settle. You cradle the jar. The coolness is still there, a dominant sensation, but underneath it, a new feeling is being born, a nascent warmth, a shy, gentle heat that seems to be radiating from the very center of the dust inside. It is like holding a stone that has been lying in the sun for a few minutes, the warmth just beginning to penetrate its surface. It spreads into your palms, a soft and pleasant feeling. Now remember the flight, Silas whispers, his voice dropping even lower. The journey of a single bee. She is not frantic. She is focused. Her wings, a blur of motion, carry her over the sea of white flowers. She drifts on the warm air, her movements deliberate. She chooses a flower, a perfect cluster of tiny florets, and she lands. Oh, so gently. Remember the feeling of her landing. Her 6 tiny legs, surprisingly strong, grasp the delicate architecture of the blossom. Her small, fuzzy body, a marvel of black and yellow velvet, presses against the petals. The flower nods with her weight, a small, graceful bow. There is a partnership here, a perfect, unspoken agreement between the flower and the bee. Look at the jar in your hands. The dust inside, which was so still and lifeless, has begun to stir. A few grains on the surface lift and swirl in a slow, lazy current, as if caught in a miniature thermal of memory. The warmth in your hands is growing now, no longer shy. It is a definite, tangible presence, a gentle, humming warmth that pulses in a slow, steady rhythm, in time with your own peaceful heartbeat. It spreads from your palms up into your wrists, a comforting, soothing heat. And the pollen? Silas breathes, his voice full of quiet reverence. This is the heart of the memory. The flower offers its gift, a fine, golden dust, so fine, so light. As the bee drinks the sweet nectar, her fuzzy body becomes coated in this precious gold. She brushes against the stamens, and the tiny grains cling to her. She is dusted in sunshine. But she is tidy. She is methodical. Using her legs, she combs this golden dust from her body. She gathers it, mixing it with a tiny drop of nectar to make it stick, and she packs it carefully into a small, concave basket on her hind leg. This is where you are born, little color. This is your moment. As he says this, a single tiny spark of light ignites within the swirling dust in the jar. A brilliant, microscopic point of pure, incandescent amber. It glows for a moment, a tiny star in a dusty nebula, before being joined by another, and then another. You are the accumulation of 1,000 tiny grains of gold. Silas whispers encouragingly. You are the sun, gathered and curated. You are the warmth of the afternoon given form. You are the color of diligence, of purpose, of the sweet reward for a day of gentle work. You are not gray. You are not dust. More sparks ignite. The swirling dust begins to glow from within, infused with these points of light. The particles start to coalesce, to draw together, pulled by the gravity of their own returning memory. The warmth in your hands intensifies. It is a deep, penetrating warmth now, a living heat that feels like holding a small, sleeping animal. It flows up your arms, relaxing your shoulders, soothing the muscles in your neck. It is a deeply comforting, grounding energy, the physical manifestation of restoration, of life returning. Remember your color, Silas urges, his voice a soft, powerful current. Remember that specific, translucent, golden hue, not the yellow of a lemon, not the gold of a coin. You are the amber of a bee's leg laden with pollen. You are the color of honey in the making. You are the color of light filtered through a drop of sap on an ancient tree. You hold the sweetness of the clover, the warmth of the sun, the hum of the wings. Remember it all. The glowing dust has now almost completely merged. It swirls faster, a vortex of liquid light, pulling in the last remaining specks of gray. It is transforming. The dull powder is gone, and in its place is a swirling, viscous, glowing substance, the color of the most perfect, sun-drenched amber you have ever seen. It radiates a soft, golden light that pushes back the twilight in your small nook, casting gentle shadows on Silas's face. His eyes are still closed, a serene smile on his lips. He is completely immersed in the act of remembering. The jar in your hands is now filled with a vibrant, humming warmth. It is a pleasant, wonderful sensation, a feeling of pure, positive energy that seems to fill your entire body, chasing away any lingering tension, any residue of the day. The color is awake. It glows and pulses softly in its crystalline prison, vibrant and alive, eager to return to the world. Silas takes one more deep, slow breath, and then his whispering ceases. The silence that returns is different. It is punctuated by the soft, golden light emanating from the jar, and the gentle, humming warmth that radiates into your hands and through your body. The color is restored. Its memory is whole again. For a long moment, there is only this: the glowing jar, the profound warmth, the deep, living silence of the archive. The sacred act is complete. Then, a single, clear, resonant sound hangs in the air. It is the sound of a crystal glass being tapped gently with a silver spoon, a perfect, pure note that sings of success, of beauty reborn. The note lingers, shimmering in the vast chamber, before slowly, gently, fading back into the profound quiet from which it came. Silas opens his eyes. He looks down at the glowing jar he holds, and then he looks at you, his sea glass eyes shining in the reflected amber light. He offers you a slow, grateful smile. The first part of the work is done. The color is awake. It is vibrant. It is ready. And in your hands, you can still feel that beautiful, living warmth, a testament to the small, quiet miracle you have just helped to create. The world is a little less gray than it was a moment ago. And you are here, at the heart of it all, resting in the deep, warm peace of the whispering archive. The warmth in your imagined hands is a deep and abiding comfort. It is a living warmth, a soft, radiant pulse that seems to connect you to the very heart of summer, to the diligent, peaceful work of a million tiny lives. You are holding a small, captured sun. Silas gazes at the glowing amber liquid, his expression one of profound satisfaction, like a gardener seeing a long-awaited bud finally open. The quiet act of remembering, of appreciating, has worked its gentle magic. The world outside, the world of soft grays and muted tones, is now ready to receive this gift. But a color, once awakened, cannot simply be let loose. It must be guided. It must be offered back to the world with the same care and intention with which it was revived. Silas rises from the smooth stone bench, his movements as fluid and unhurried as ever. He still cradles the jar, its golden light illuminating his soft oatmeal-colored robes and casting a warm, gentle glow upon the pale moonstone floor. He turns to you, and the warm light softens the ancient lines on his face, making him look less like a timeless archivist and more like a kind grandfather, about to share a wonderful secret. "Its memory is restored," he whispers, his voice filled with the same warmth that emanates from the jar. "But its journey is not yet complete. It is awake, but it is still here, in the archive. It must be given a path back into the world, so it can be found again, so a child might once more marvel at the precise, golden treasure on a bee's leg, so a painter might find the perfect hue for sunlight through honey. Come, there is one more step." He begins to walk, not back down the aisle of sleeping colors, but toward the very center of the vast circular chamber. You follow, the warmth of the jar still humming in your imagined hands, a feeling you carry with you. As you move away from the towering shelves, the scale of the archive becomes even more apparent. The ceiling is a remote heaven of soft, indistinct darkness, and the curving walls feel like the edge of the universe. The air in the center of the room feels different. It is even more still, more potent, thick with the silence and the scent of sleeping potential. In the exact center of the moonstone floor is a feature you had not noticed before. It is a perfect circle, perhaps 10 feet across, of stone that is even paler and smoother than the rest of the floor. It is like a disk of polished marble, or a pool of frozen milk. Etched into its surface are thousands of impossibly fine, spiraling lines, like the grooves of a cosmic record. They all spiral out from a single, small indentation at the very center of the disk. It is a place of immense power, but a quiet, gentle power. This is the conduit, the heart of the archive, through which the restored colors are sent back into the world. Silas glides to the edge of this circle and stops. He stands for a moment, simply holding the glowing jar, allowing its warmth and light to bathe the central stone. He is gathering his focus, preparing for this final, sacred act. He gestures for you to feel this moment with him. "This is the nexus," he whispers, his voice barely disturbing the profound silence. "This is where the dream of a color becomes reality again. All the memories we gathered, all the warmth, all the whispers. We now offer them back. We do not force them. We simply open the door." He kneels down, his movements slow and reverent. The fabric of his robe pools around him on the cool, pale stone. With infinite care, he places the glowing jar into the small indentation at the very center of the spiraling pattern. It fits perfectly. As soon as the jar touches the stone, a soft, sympathetic light begins to glow within the fine, etched lines of the conduit. The light starts at the center, a soft amber glow drawn directly from the jar, and begins to trace the spiraling paths outward. Imagine you are kneeling there with him. You can feel the coolness of the main floor, but a gentle warmth now radiates from the conduit itself, a warmth that feels like sunshine on a cool spring day. You watch, mesmerized, as the threads of golden light spread slowly through the stone, branching out, following the intricate spiraling map. It is like watching a golden river flow into 1,000 tiny streams, carrying life to a thirsty land. The light moves without sound, a silent and beautiful transmission of energy. The glowing liquid inside the jar pulses in time with the spreading light, its own radiance dimming slightly as it gives its essence to the stone. "Go now, little one," Silas whispers to the color, his hands resting gently on the stone beside the jar. "Return to the clover fields and the warm summer afternoons. Find your way back to the fuzzy bodies of the bees. Remind the world of the beauty of small, diligent things. Remind it of the color of sunshine, gathered and held. Be a small, bright stitch in the tapestry once more. Be a reason for someone to stop, and to notice, and to feel a moment of simple, quiet joy." As he speaks his final blessing, the last of the spiraling lines fills with golden light. The entire disk of the conduit is now a radiant map of glowing amber, a beautiful, temporary sun on the floor of the archive. The light within the jar has faded completely. The liquid inside is now clear as water, its color given away. The warmth that radiated from it is gone, replaced by the deep, neutral coolness of the crystal glass. The warmth is now in the conduit, and from there it is flowing out into the world, traveling on unseen currents to find a home. In a moment, somewhere in the waking world, a child will look closely at a bee for the first time, and the amber of the pollen on its leg will seem to be the most beautiful, most vibrant color she has ever seen. The color is not just restored, it is home. The light in the conduit holds for a long moment, a testament to the completed work. Then, slowly, gracefully, it begins to fade. The golden light recedes from the edges of the disk, drawing back in on itself, the spirals going dark one by one, until only the very center remains lit. And then, with a final, soft pulse, it too fades away, leaving the circle of pale stone exactly as it was before, cool and quiet and still. The work is done. Silas reaches out and picks up the now clear jar, its purpose fulfilled. He rises to his feet and places it on a nearby shelf reserved for empty vessels, a silent testament to a successful restoration. He stands for a moment in the center of the archive, his head bowed in quiet reflection. The silence returns, deeper and more peaceful than before. It is the silence of a job well done, of a small piece of the world gently mended. He turns to you, a look of serene peace on his face. "This is the work," he whispers, his voice a soft, calming presence in the vast space. It is not loud. It does not change the world in an instant. It is a slow, patient offering. We add one small drop of beauty, and then another. And slowly, so slowly, the world remembers its own vibrant heart. Each color is a memory, not just of a thing, but of a feeling. The amber we just returned was not just a color. It was the feeling of drowsy, warm, productive peace. To see that color is to feel that peace, even if you do not know why. This is why the archive is so important. We are not just curators of hues. We are guardians of feelings, guardians of peace, of joy, of melancholy, of wonder. He begins his slow, gliding walk back toward the towering shelves, and you feel yourself drifting along with him. Your mind feels calm and clear. The rhythmic, gentle pace of the archive has seeped into your own being, slowing your thoughts, deepening your breath. You feel a sense of profound contentment, of having been part of something good and true. The world is always forgetting. Silas continues, his whisper a continuous, soothing murmur. It becomes distracted by things that are loud and fast. It forgets to look at the shadows, at the sky, at the small, miraculous details. And so, the colors fade. The feelings they carry fade with them. There is always more work to be done. Another forgotten memory to awaken. He stops once more before the endless, curving rows of jars. He closes his sea-glass eyes, and once again, his hand drifts through the cool air, sensing, listening. He passes by a jar labeled, "The russet of an autumn leaf just before it falls." He glides past the exact gray of a cat's paw. He considers a beautiful, pear-shaped bottle containing a dull, silvery powder, the shimmer of a fish's scale in moonlight. His hand slows, and then stops. It hovers before a tall, elegant jar made of what looks like frosted crystal. The dust inside is a flat, pale grayish blue, almost white. It looks cold and lonely. Silas feels a deep and resonant need emanating from this particular jar, a feeling of profound stillness, of quiet, forgotten beauty. He reaches out with his long, careful fingers and takes the jar from its resting place. The faint, delicate clink of glass on stone is a sound of new purpose. He brings the jar closer, and you can read the spidery script etched into its frosted surface. It reads, "The blue of a shadow on freshly fallen snow." Silas cradles this jar in his palms. It is different from the last one. It feels lighter, more delicate. "Ah," he breathes, his whisper like the sound of a soft breeze over a snowdrift. A different kind of beauty. A different kind of peace. Not the warmth of the sun, but the clarity of the moon. The world has forgotten its quiet side. It has forgotten how to be still. This one needs to be reminded of the silence. He returns to the same quiet nook, to the same smooth stone bench. He settles himself, his posture one of deep meditation. He places the tall, frosted jar on his lap and looks at you, his eyes full of a calm, clear light. "Once more," he whispers, "lend me your focus. Lend this sleeping color your memory. It is a collective act, this remembering. Let us hold this jar together." And so you do. In your mind, you reach out and take the frosted jar from Silas's lap. Feel its surface. It is not smooth like the last one, but has a fine, velvety texture, like the skin of a frozen peach. And it is cool. Not the neutral coolness of the moonstone, but a deep, penetrating cold. A pure, clean cold, like holding a piece of winter in your hands. It is not an unpleasant sensation. It is cleansing, clarifying. It seems to pull away any remaining stress, any mental clutter, leaving your mind feeling as clear and open as a winter sky. Hold it gently. The grayish-blue dust inside is completely inert, a flat and lifeless thing. But even now, you can sense the potential within, the memory of profound, silent beauty waiting to be awakened. Silas closes his eyes, his hands resting on his knees. He takes a long, slow breath, and the air around you seems to grow colder, crisper. When he speaks, his whisper is different now. It is hushed, reverent, like a voice in a vast, silent cathedral of ice. "Little color of winter's shadow," he begins, his voice a soft rustle, like snow falling from a heavy pine bough. "Do you remember the moon? Let us remember it for you. Let us remember together. Let us remember a world transformed. It is the deep of night. A great heavy blanket of snow has fallen, covering everything. It has silenced the world. The sounds of the day are gone, buried beneath a cushion of pure white. There are no cars, no voices, no birds. There is only a silence so deep and so profound that you can hear the sound of your own heartbeat, slow and steady, a peace that is absolute." As he speaks, you focus on the frosted jar in your imagined hands. The deep, pure coldness of it seems to intensify, but it remains a clean, pleasant feeling. It is the cold of stillness, not of discomfort. And perhaps you can feel the faintest, most subtle tingle in your fingertips, a tiny vibration in the frosted glass, as if a single atom within the dust has shivered in its sleep. Silas continues his invocation, his voice a hypnotic, whispered lullaby. And into this silent white world, the moon rises. A full moon, a disk of polished silver, hanging in a sky of blackest velvet. It is not a warm light. It is a cool, clear, clarifying light. It pours down onto the snow, and the world is no longer dark. It is illuminated in shades of silver and blue. The snow does not reflect the light. It seems to absorb it, to glow with its own internal chilly luminescence. Feel the air of this night. Take a deep breath. The air is so cold it is sharp, crystalline. It feels cleansing as it enters your lungs, purifying your thoughts. It carries the scent of snow, of cold stone, of distant pine trees. There is no other scent. It is the smell of pure, clean stillness, the smell of a world washed clean. He pauses, letting the memory of that crisp, clean air fill your lungs. You cradle the jar. The coldness is a constant, a grounding presence, but the tingling sensation is growing. It is a cool, effervescent feeling, like the fizz of a tiny, silent bubble, spreading from your fingertips into your palms. It is a feeling of awakening, but a quiet, gentle awakening. A slow, cold dawn. "And now, the shadows," Silas whispers, his voice dropping to a hush. "This is where you live, little color. The moonlight does not reach everywhere. Every tree, every rock, every gentle drift in the snow casts a shadow. But these are not black, empty shadows. They are not frightening. They are filled with color, your color. Look at the shadow cast by a tall, lone pine tree. Its branches are heavy with snow, bowed in silent reverence. Where its form blocks the silver moonlight, it lays a shape upon the glowing snow. And that shape is not gray. It is not black. It is a deep, soft, living blue, a blue that is full of peace, full of silence. It is the color of quiet contemplation, the color of the world dreaming. Look at the jar in your hands. The dust inside, which was so flat and lifeless, has begun to stir. A gentle, slow eddy forms in the center of the grayish powder. It is not the energetic swirl of the amber color. It is a slow, graceful turning, like the first stirrings of a deep ocean current. And within it, a single, tiny spark of cool blue light appears. It does not burn, it simply is, a point of pure cerulean luminescence in the gray dust. You are the color of a secret, Silas breathes, his voice full of wonder. You are the beauty that is only seen when the world is at its most quiet. You are the stillness between the notes of a song. You are the pause at the end of a breath. You are not the absence of light. You are the presence of peace. More blue sparks ignite within the swirling dust. They do not flash, they simply appear, like stars coming out one by one in the twilight sky. The dust begins to change, to transform. The dull gray is being consumed by a soft internal blue glow. The particles draw together, not with heat, but with a cool magnetic pull. The tingling in your hands grows stronger, a pleasant, cool vibration that flows up your wrists and into your arms. It is a refreshing, clarifying energy, calming your mind and soothing your spirit. Remember the texture of the snow within the shadow, Silas urges, his whisper a cool, clear stream of sound. It is softer, finer. The crystals of ice are untouched by the direct light. It is a place of deep repose. Remember the silence held within that blue, a silence that is not empty, but full of potential. It is the quiet from which all thoughts are born, and to which all thoughts return. Remember your true nature. The glowing dust has now fully merged, coalescing into a liquid light. It swirls slowly, gracefully, in the frosted jar. It is no longer dust. It is a thick, luminous substance, the color of the deepest, most peaceful blue you can imagine. It is the blue of a shadow on freshly fallen snow. It does not radiate heat, but a soft, cool light, a serene blue glow that fills your small nook. It pushes back the darkness, painting the moonstone walls in tranquil hues of indigo and sapphire. The jar in your hands is now a source of this cool, tingling energy. It is a wonderfully refreshing sensation, a feeling of pure clarity and calm that flows through you, washing away any last vestiges of worry, leaving behind only a state of deep, peaceful awareness. The color is awake. It pulses with a slow, steady, silent rhythm, content in its crystalline vessel, ready to bring its gift of stillness back to the world. Silas exhales a long, final breath, a soft white plume in the cool air of the archive. His whispering ends. The silence that follows is imbued with the cool blue light from the jar, a silence that feels deeper, more ancient, more restorative than ever before. For a long, peaceful moment, there is only the feeling of the cool, tingling jar in your hands, the soft blue light, and the profound, healing quiet of the whispering archive. The act of restoration is complete once more. And then again, that single, pure note, a clear, resonant tone, like a bell made of ice, rings out in the vast chamber. It shimmers, a perfect, crystalline sound that speaks of clarity, of stillness, of a quiet beauty returned to its rightful place. It hangs in the cool air, a perfect auditory jewel, before slowly, gently, fading back into the deep and abiding peace of the archive. Silas opens his eyes. He looks down at the glowing blue jar, and a soft, serene smile touches his lips. He has done his work. You have done your work. Together, you have reminded the world of two of its forgotten beauties, the peace of warmth and the peace of stillness. He does not rise this time. The night's gentle labor is drawing to a close. He simply continues to cradle the blue, glowing jar, its cool light, a soothing balm. The world will have its shadows back now, he whispers, his voice the softest it has been all night, a sound on the very edge of silence, intended only for you. And in that blue, someone, somewhere, will find a moment of profound peace. They will not know why. They will simply look at a shadow on the snow and feel their mind grow quiet, their worries grow distant. And that is enough. The cool, tingling sensation from the jar in your imagined hands begins to soften, to spread, to dissolve into a general feeling of deep, comfortable relaxation. The specific sensations of warmth and coolness are fading, leaving behind a perfect equilibrium, a state of sublime, peaceful balance. Your work here is done, gentle friend, Silas whispers. You have helped mend the world in a quiet, secret way. You have held the memories and shared their power. Now, there is nothing left to do, nothing to hold, nothing to see. There is only rest. Let the image of the archive begin to soften at the edges. Let the glowing jar, the ancient shelves, the kind face of Silas all begin to dissolve, like mist fading in a gentle sun. All that remains is the feeling they have left behind. A feeling of deep calm, a feeling of gentle restoration, a feeling of profound peace. Your awareness drifts away from the moonstone chamber, back to the quiet space where you are resting. Carry that peace with you. The work of the archive will continue. Silas will keep his vigil, whispering life back into the forgotten corners of the world, one color, one memory at a time. The world is being cared for. You are being cared for. All you need to do now is let go. Let your breath be slow and deep. Let your body be heavy and relaxed. Let your mind be as quiet and as peaceful as a field of freshly fallen snow under a silver moon. Rest now. Drift now. Sleep now.